Happy new moon and happy birthday, Scorpio. Definitely picking up on a lot of melancholy feelings right now, where I feel like the energy is just slowed down right now. It's calling someone to just do some inner reflection. This is a very reflective moment right now, and it can feel quiet and lonely, and it may sadden someone a bit. Not that this person is actually like sad, but they're just tired. And I think someone may be doing a really good job at hiding where these buried feelings are. Like, Scorpio, you do such a good job at hiding things. And there's something right now that you may not be able to hide from yourself. And it could be coming from the past too. It could just be those feelings that you never really took into account to the point where you were willing to face them head on and heal them. It's something about exercising your emotions in order to feel a bit more in control and fulfilled in that area when it comes to emotional intelligence overall. There's something that could feel a little blocked, and it may be because something is delayed. Something is delayed right now, and it doesn't have to be something in the physical. It could just be something internal, something that you're feeling within yourself, and you feel like you just can't fully make the connection. You feel like that connection is closed off to you, but you tend to forget. You tend to keep looking away at the fact that you hold these keys. You are like the leader when it comes to introspection, and you can go so deep within it that you lose yourself in it, that you don't know how to get out, but you do find a way. It's just that journey feels so long that you're there in the dark for a while. You're there in the shadows for a while. You're there in that little underworld. And remember that's okay too. It's okay to just be there for a bit. I think you don't always like when you have to go back into your solitude and really reflect on shit. Shit just gets harder, especially because you learn so much. Every day you're learning so much about yourself through what you learn from your experiences and your connections and relationships with others, everything around you. You feel so much that sometimes you may feel blindsided from it. So let me just show you this really quick, because the moon card is here, and the new moon as I'm recording is today. So yeah, once again, happy new moon. It's gonna hit you hard because you are these feelings that you're developing, they've been developing all this time, for so long, that things start to feel familiar, where you get tired because you're like, wow, we're in my season again. It's Scorpio season again. We're here again. And it's almost like each time it's like you get less and less excited about it, because I think it starts to just get harder, because it comes with discernment. The decisions that you make now from here on out are only going to be more discerning. And I think you feel like you're lacking creativity, where it's like that's what's making you feel like you're losing yourself. when you lose a piece of that creativity that you've held on to so tightly, and you knew how to just flourish with it. You knew how to, go for a ride with it and let it get lost, but then it finds you again. It's like that power that you had within yourself, that connection that you had once with yourself, you may feel like you have lost. And I feel like over the past year or so now, you are picking up those pieces that, they kind of got mixed in with all the other shit. Like there could have been some natural disaster, right? Think about it metaphorically, though. There was a natural disaster, and it's like everything's still there. You just kind of have to look for it, and you got to look deep within enough. Not only to see that it's there, but to believe that it's already there, Scorpio. So right now, yeah, there could be some sadness. Maybe someone's losing hope a bit because they're questioning if they're enough, and what they do time and time again is enough, or are they just repeating the same cycle and they're not really growing? Someone right now may want to just feel. I just want to feel something. And I want it to be fucking real. I want it to feel good. And even if it does hurt, I want to know that this is what I meant to come across. This is for me. This is what I meant to feel. And it's going to help me grow. It's going to have me see things even more clearly. But that's what always happens. But right now, it's like you're not really seeing that. There's so much fog, and there's so much darkness, so much shadow. The contrast, in a sense, feels like it's taking over you. And it's like at this point, you've kind of allowed it to. But I keep hearing because you're tired. So make time to rest. However that can work for you, make time to rest. But you got to stay alive. You gotta keep things alive. And even if that means you got to start over, do it in a way that works for you. Make sure that everything that you're producing right now, everything that you're creating, everything that you're trying to manifest and work towards, it's genuinely coming from you, from your heart. And those are always going to come out looking in so many different ways. There's so many layers to you, Scorpio. So yeah, it does take a toll on you emotionally, physically, energetically, in all aspects, right? So when we feel like we're failing, that's when things are brewing in that moment. And you have to hold on a little while longer to really get the rest of those answers, because not everything is lost. Nothing actually is lost. You're just used to getting lost in it and not fully receiving what you thought you could from a dynamic or situation. So it has you tired, Scorpio. I just keep hearing that, like someone is just tired. They're over it. It's okay. It's just temporary. And you know that. Deep down, I know you know that. But you're waiting for signs while you're already coming up with the conclusion in your head that what you didn't receive yet, or whatever responses that you have received, you're instantly taking them as rejections, because it's like, wait, that was it? I thought this was going to be a more magical, outcome. I thought I was going to get a little more out of it. This is just the beginning. It's always the beginning of the end, right? It's always the end of that cycle just to start a new one. And that is going to overwhelm you. Because you don't miss a beat. When you think about it, you don't. You experience all of it. You're in all of it. All of those transitions and transformations, you are part of it, because in a sense, it is you. This is your pond. It's your world, that you've created it in a sense to be like this. It's what you understand most. It's what you understand best. Because it is you. If that makes sense. So someone right now could kind of be like, maybe you want to like vent, or maybe it calls for you to read a book or watch some kind of documentary or even a scary movie, something that will just kind of bring you out of the mundane, out of that routine that you low-key have gotten comfortable putting yourself in. And it doesn't call for you to change things around you a lot. You don't really need to do anything right now. The best thing for you to do is rest, but it does not mean to just quit. It doesn't mean to just give up on what drives you, what motivates you every day to actually get the fuck out of bed and create. Keep creating and never stop. It's always going to turn out differently. It's always going to look in different ways. There are so many layers to you. That's just what it is. So all that shadow and light coexisting, it's the duality of you. And it's kind of like a wild card. We don't know what to expect from Scorpio today because what happened yesterday or what happened last week or a couple months ago, that really changed things up. It really changed the game. And it's all about where does your energy lie right now? Where's your energy source at? What's it looking like? Because if you're not building up towards the next phase of your life, you're not getting yourself ready in the ways that you know can benefit you and help you, then you're going to feel like you're just in this dead, like, garden. It's like the garden's dead, and it's like, it's not like that's a bad thing because it's the circle of life, right? You know that much. But sometimes you really get lost in that feeling when you feel like, when it looks like everything's gone, then you start to believe that maybe everything isn't really here and none of this shit really exists, and I can't really have happiness in the way that I want. I can't have emotional fulfillment in the way that I want. Why are you doing that to yourself? You know how powerful you are. You are so powerful, Scorpio. You need to just give yourself some time to just regenerate, to reactivate. Just rest for a bit and do all the necessary reflection that you need to do. But make sure that you are doing it for you. Do what it is that you need to do for you. And if you want to start slow on whatever it is you want to get back into, you have all the rights to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Do not look for the validation. Quit looking for it. It is never going to satisfy you. Even in the moment when you think you found that person that can overrule that can distract you from you. It's almost like you need something or someone to make you feel smaller, to have you believe that this is real at the end of the day. All just so you can try to climb up that ladder to be at the top again when you already reside there. So I'm hearing, I don't know, I heard the word notion, but maybe just stop creating these notions for yourself. Don't get lost in that. It's like a fantasy that you will forever believe in, but you confuse it with a nightmare, with false realizations. You confuse it with where a conversation could have went wrong, an interaction could have went wrong, or even telepathic communication. that went wrong. It was like, oh, I heard them say no. I heard that rejection. So, I mean, this is just what it's going to be, you know? I got to keep just being prepared for the worst. And as brave and strong that is of you, I really do commend you for that. But you don't have to do this to yourself every time. And if you feel like sometime when you choose to not do anything because you know it's the best choice that you're making in that moment for not just you, but for everyone, because you intuitively know that, right? Then that's when you still end up second guessing yourself. And you're all like, oh, well, I mean, fuck. Should I really have done that? Because now look where I am. I don't even know where I am. I don't know what's about to happen. Like, you kill off the mystery that you oh so desire. Just sit tight. That's what I'm going to tell you. Sit tight and wait a little longer. Breathe. And be as repetitive with it as much as you need to. Change up the tempo of how you breathe. Breathe deeper if you need to, but breathe and give yourself that time and space, because like I said, this is really only the beginning. It's the beginning of the end, and we're just gonna keep fucking going. So just because you know the neutral, like, let's talk about colors, you know the neutral so well, you know the cool colors so well, that you think for a second that you can't wear a warm color, you can't be in that feeling of warmth, of light. When you make up all of it, stop thinking that things still have to be ruled within a system or systematic way of being and living. You make your own rules, Scorpio. Because when you make that time to share it with the rest of this planet, you know you will be heard. You know you will be seen and you will be felt. And I think that's all you want sometimes. And right now you may feel shut off, like you need to shut yourself out from, it's like you're not even really looking for advice right now. I think you may just want to vent. You just want to be heard, but you don't want to, it's almost like you could be afraid to dig as deeply as you could, as you may want to, because you feel like it may lead you to disappointment or even some kind of resentment. But it's the fact that you are just not willing to try at all right now. That's what it feels like. It feels like, what's the point? And questioning yourself with, am I good enough? Is what I'm doing even really good enough? Or am I just doing the same old shit? Ask yourself, what was it that had you stop believing? When did that occur? So you can, in a sense, go back in time to whatever conversation or interaction you had, even if it was with just yourself. Go back to where that feeling started to develop, so you can really get that poison out. You make up so much, not just one thing. You don't just make up shadow. So prove them wrong. Hell, prove yourself wrong. Because right now, the last thing you want to do is be your own enemy, Scorpio. Just give it time. Keep learning, keep loving, keep growing. Your answers are coming.